Saints Row is the latest AAA release to arrive on Stadia, but it's met some very critical reception. That said, I'm here to give you my overall first thoughts and impressions while showcasing how it runs on Stadia, so let's get to it. Before getting into all the details, let's start off by talking about the checklist. The game supports online co-op, has a bunch of accessibility features, and also includes both a high frame rate and high resolution mode. In terms of what it's missing, well, there's currently no online cross-platform play, and it doesn't support any sort of local multiplayer. Now let's talk about the game itself. Honestly speaking, I'm having a lot more fun with it than reviews would have suggested I would be. But ultimately, I think that's because my expectations for this game were just more Saints Row. And it's exactly what it is, just over-the-top, wacky shooting gallery fun that doesn't take itself seriously. It's 100% a step back from Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell in terms of wacky crazy fun because there are no superpowers and you aren't traveling to literal hell. But if you would have told me this is Saints Row 4, it makes a lot more sense than what 4 eventually turned out to be. What I'm trying to say here is that if you enjoyed the more grounded experience but still over-the-top fun of Saints Row 3, rather than the superpowered vision that 4 was, well, you're probably gonna feel at home here. But please make no mistake, I'm not trying to tell you reviewers are wrong. The game has its fair share of issues and bugs, many of which I encountered in just a couple of hours. One thing that is pretty common amongst reviews for this game is that it feels dated, and I highly agree with that statement. After all, Saints Row 3 is the closest point of comparison I can give this reboot, and that's a game that came out 2 console generations ago. And this reboot doesn't seem to be trying to reinvent the wheel, it's just more of the same. Depending on who you are, that's either gonna make or break your interest in this title, but as somebody who loves Saints Row 3, I'm more than happy with what I have. But I don't blame anyone for thinking otherwise because this was a whole reboot to the franchise, one that I'm really surprised they even bothered doing when the overall tone of the story and its gameplay just feel so alike. Now, pushing the subjective stuff to the side, I do need to bring up that there are a lot of issues with the game though on a technical level. I've encountered various bugs and glitches in the open world, some very strange physics that have happened that just sent me flying. But the biggest and most notable issue is one that's present throughout the gameplay in the open world, and that's pop-in. Be it close or far away, you're gonna be seeing shadows and textures pop in at a pretty alarming rate. It's kind of surprising. I know this sort of thing can be make or break for some people out there. Hopefully they'll release some patches to fix the issue because right now I gotta say it happens a lot. Now on to talk specifics about the Stadia version itself. The high frame rate mode is the mode that I would recommend playing on. At the end of the day, a higher frame rate will mean improved latency, which will just improve the overall feel of the game. This is extra important in the cloud gaming space, and I would always advocate for a high frame rate mode to be included in every cloud game. That said, it's certainly not a consistent frame rate because you will encounter some dips here and there when action starts to get heavy. Be aware though, you will be paying the price in terms of visual clarity. High resolution mode in comparison looks a lot sharper. Just take a look at this quick side by side and you're gonna notice the difference pretty easily. If you've ever played Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia and swap between those two high frame rate and visual modes, you'll know exactly what to expect here. Everything just looks like it's slightly blurry, but your eyes can adjust to it fairly quickly. And just to be clear, if you rather have the nicer visuals, that's still totally possible here. There's no reason you can't, but I will say that the gameplay feels a bit harder to pull off. Driving in particular comes to mind, especially in off-roading sections. Either way, that wraps up this first look at Saints Row on Stadia. Let me know what you think. Do you plan on picking this title up, or are you gonna wait for it to be on sale? If you have any remaining questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below and I'll answer what I can. For those who play on GeForce Now, be aware that I will be covering it on that service as well, and I may be doing a comparison video if that's something people would be interested in seeing. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, thanks for watching the video, I hope you have a great day. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.